Good evening. Here's the news at 9. First, the highlights. Lagos State Government urges motoring public to report illegal activities to Ministry of Transportation. Federal government sets to launch over 2,000 CNG buses, tricycles. On the foreign scene, landslides injure 6 people as southern China braces for rare floods. And in sports, Bayer Leverkusen extends unbeaten record to 45 games. Now the details. I am John Omoaka. The Lagos State government has urged members of the motoring public to report illegality promptly to the Ministry of Transportation through designated phone lines 0902 0004 000 or 0902 0009 000. This is coming after the ministry apprehended 10 fake enforcement officials at Sele Itire axis of the state. The apprehended persons were caught carrying out unauthorized enforcement using different fake ID cards. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Transportation, Olawale Musa, said the arrest was made in response to complaints registered at the ministry by concerned citizens. Musa was stressed that the suspects are not members of the staff of the ministry, noted that the tow trucks, identification cards, and other equipment owned by these people have been confiscated by the state government. He added that they will be made to face the full wrath of the law. The Lagos State Office for Disability Affairs, LASODA, has again reiterated its call for inclusivity and empathy towards persons with disabilities, PWDs. General Manager of LASODA, Adenike Oyetunde Lawal, made a call during a cursory visit by the Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, Abimbola Akiajo, and her team. Oyetunde Lawal, who emphasized the need for societal change, also underscored the importance of recognizing and accommodating the diverse needs of PWDs using a shift beyond policy making towards fostering a culture of empathy. In her remarks, Managing Director of Lamata, Abimbola Akiajo, said the purpose of the visit was to facilitate a better relationship between both agencies and expressed Lamata's commitment to collaborating with the LASODA. Applauding LASODA's holistic perspective on disability issues, she assured that together they can both explore avenues that will enhance service delivery and promote inclusivity within Lagos State. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, says it has sanctioned some officials over the harassment of a female hijab-wearing candidate. The female candidate was sat a unified tertiary matriculation examination at the Bafuto Institute, Ileiwe bus stop, Ejigbo, Lagos, was said to have been asked to remove a head cover during the accreditation process before being allowed into the examination hall. Addressing the issue in a statement, the head of public affairs of the board, Fabian Benjamin, noted that the board deeply regretted the incident. It said the incident or orders in the past were not linked to any of its examination guidelines, but rather a product of the misplaced priority of some of the board's accredited partners or officials who claimed ignorance of the guidelines on accreditation. Lagos State Police Command has commenced an investigation into the death of one Anosekwa Patrick, who was allegedly stabbed by a police officer identified as Inspector Taufik at a mall in Ajah area of the state on Saturday. The command's public relations officer, Benjamin Hyundai, said this in a statement. Hyundai added that the manager and chief security officer of the mall are already in custody to assist with the investigation. According to him, the commissioner of police, Adegoke Fayuade, has has directed detectives of the homicide section of the State Criminal Investigation Department to ensure a speedy and diligent investigation towards ensuring that the culprit is brought to book. Now to the rest of the stories. The presidency says it is ready to launch about 2,700 CNG-powered buses and tricycles before May 29, when President Bola Tinubu turns 1 year in office. The federal government is expected to deliver 100 conversion workshops and 60 refueling sites spread across 18 states before the end of 2024. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, said this in a statement, noting that over 600 buses are targeted for production in the first phase, which we accomplished in 2024. President Bola Tinubu will on Monday declare open the African Counter-Terrorism Summit in Abuja. The Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Anjuri Ngedale, made this known in a statement. He noted that Nigeria, with the support of the United Nations Office of Counter-Terrorism, UNOCT, is organizing a high-level African Counter-Terrorism Summit under the theme Strengthening Regional Cooperation and Institution Building to address the evolving threats of terrorism in Abuja. According to Nginale, the summit is scheduled to hold from April 22 to 23 with the objective to enhance multilateral counter-terrorism cooperation and reshape the international community's collective response to terrorism in Africa. While emphasizing the importance of African-led and African-owned solutions, the summit will provide a platform to review the nature and severity of the threat of terrorism on the continent with a view to agreeing on concrete strategic priorities and measures to address the scourge. It will also foster deeper regional collaboration, enhancing the institutional capacity of member states and facilitating the exchange of best practices and knowledge to combat the multifaceted threat of terrorism in Africa. Heads of state and government and high-level government officials across Africa, representatives of international organizations and multilateral institutions, members of the diplomatic corps, and members of civil society groups are expected to attend the summit. Now to foreign news. Landslides have injured at least 6 people and trapped others in southern China as it braces for severe floods seen around once in a century. Torrential downpours across wards of Guangdong province since Thursday are swollen rivers in the Pearl River Delta and triggered the lungs in mountainous areas. According to a report, rains have sparked landslides affecting 6 villages in the northern Guangdong town of Jiguan, trapping people. Photographs showed waterfront homes destroyed by a wall of brown mud and people in fluorescent-colored ponchos sheltering in a soaked public sports court. Israeli forces have killed 14 Palestinians during a raid in the occupied West Bank, while an ambulance driver was killed as he went to pick up the wounded from a separate attack by violent Jewish settlers. Israeli forces began an extended raid in the early hours of Friday in the North Shams area near the flashport Palestinian city of Torkham and were still exchanging fire with armed fighters well into Saturday. The military vehicles masked and bursts of gunfire were heard, while at least 3 drones were seen hovering over North Shams, an area housing refugees and their descendants from the 1948 war that accompanied the creation of the State of Israel. Now sports. Bayern Leverkusen has extended its unbeaten run through a late equalizer against Borussia Dortmund. The 7th-minute stoppage time goal sees Leverkusen extend unbeaten run to 45 games across all competitions. This is the longest unbeaten run in Europe since 2000. Josep Stanistic cancelled out Nick Charles' flawless strike with a late equalizer as the newly crowned German champions held Borussia Dortmund to a 1-1 draw in Bundesliga. And that's our news, but just before we go, please do not drive beyond specified speed limits. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X, Traffic Radio 961. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sawulu administration established 10 tri and oxygen centers? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has urged members of the motoring public to report illegality promptly to the Ministry of Transportation through designated phone lines 0902 0004 000 or 0902 0009 000. The presidency said it would launch about 2,700 CNG-powered buses and tricycles before May 29, when President Bola Tinubu turns 1 year in office. We also told you that landslides have injured at least 6 people and trapped others in southern China as it braces for severe floods seen around once a century. And in sports, Bayern Leverkusen has extended its unbeaten run to 45 games through a late equalizer against Borussia Dortmund. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Idu Olaya. I am John Omoaka. Thank you very much for listening.